Alright, today I am on the Insta360 GO Ultra and I'm testing out the new Insta360 Pro mic that I have currently on. There's a windscreen because it's a little breezy today, so I figured it'll help me in the long run to not get some wind noise. I have no noise cancellation on currently, and I'm using the omnidirectional, so it's coming from each side and I believe front or above. I also want to note I'm not an audiophile. Audio is something new that I'm bringing into my gear. I'm also a photographer, so videography is also new, and I'm mainly using this camera and this setup for casual vlogging and also photo walking days. I feel like this is a good use if you're like, oh, I just want to do this casually or become a little bit of a vlogger. See how this setup works for me and if it works for you. So I'm currently outside, and the area that I'm in has a lot of nature sounds like birds and also cars going by or factory fans going off, and sometimes an extremely loud train comes by, so I get to test out the noise canceling feature on this mic pretty well. Another cool feature, I know it's kind of large, but the reason that I'm okay with that is you can put your own logo here. So this is like an e-ink display, but as you can see, I currently have my Instagram logo here. I do, however, not really enjoy the wind screen puff thing. Forget what they're called. It looks a little like obvious, so let me take it off and show you what that looks like. All right, so it's a bit nicer like that. So if I don't need to use the windscreen, I would love to not. It's not super windy, so I think I'm just gonna leave it off for now. So you're again hearing non-noise canceling. So let's go ahead and show you what the internal mic of the Insta360 GO Ultra sounds like. All right, so now as you can see or hear, the audio is now capturing everything around me. It might not be as clear, but it is not a bad mic. If you don't want to purchase an external accessory, it's still pretty good, especially when my voice is coming straight out. So if I were to speak facing this way or this way, it might be not as great, especially if I were to turn around or had to be further away from the camera. So having a mic in this sense would be good if you're gonna want further distance from your camera. And this little camera here removes from the dock, and you can kind of magnetize it and place it everywhere. So let me go show you that, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I would like a mic for that. All right, so I currently have you magnetized or off of the dock, which is here, so I can see you. You can probably hear me nice and clear right now, but if I were to start backing away, you probably can't really hear much. And now you can kind of hear me, especially. It's probably a lot better now, although I don't have noise canceling on, and you can definitely hear the sirens and all of the birds. But if I were to turn around and continue walking, you can still hear me despite being far away. Let's turn on the noise canceling. All right, the noise canceling is now on. The sirens are still sort of going, so you might be able to hear them, but now the birds and everything else is probably a little bit better. Let me add you back to the dock. Noise canceling feature that I currently have on is under weak, so this is the first setting of that. There's a stronger one next that we can try. I think I prefer this one when I look back at footage, because you can still get a sense of your surroundings and you still get that audio while still getting clear verbal speaking audio from the person in front of the camera. And I could move you around and still get nice clean audio coming from here. Now this is again omnidirectional, and I prefer this when the mic is mounted to my chest. The next one is cardioid audio, which only takes audio from the front instead of all the sides. So this is sort of ideal if you're going to put this mic on front of your camera here and speak directly at it. Now I like this if I were inside or could mount my mic onto my camera, but it's mostly going to be here on my chest, so I'm going to pick omnidirectional. So now let's go turn up the noise canceling because there's quite a lot of noise happening. Now I have on strong noise canceling feature, and I know a lot of mics from time to time, if you have strong noise canceling feature on, it makes your voice sound maybe robotic or a little muffled, if that. I feel like you're still getting maybe a little bit of wind, so I could probably put the windscreen on as well. So the windscreen is now on, and it'll be a little better because there's a bit of a breeze. So now this is again super high on the noise cancellation, and I do think I like it. It just depends on the scenario, but sometimes I like having the audio of the surrounding environment so it doesn't feel, I don't know, sort of robotic in a way, like, oh, you can only hear me, but there's definitely things going on. So let's go switch back to the weak version. I've set you down here so I can get a better look at my list of things to go over during this video. So I showed you omnidirectional, and I spoke about cardioid. Now, cardioid is also very good because it takes in audio from directly the center, and then this is good for like ASMR or talking head when you have the mic quite stationary and you're not like looking around, moving around. So let's go show you what those sound like. This is handheld omnidirectional, and I'm spinning it around, side to side, front and back, and say if it's over here or over here, I think it's still going to be picking up my voice quite well. So now let's go switch to cardioid, which if it's directly in front of me, it sounds quite nice. If it's on my chest mounted, I don't think it sounds that great. This is for cardioid. It rejects the side and the rear, so I currently have the mic front facing me, but if I were to turn it to the back, it might sound a little bit different. Or if it's mounted to my chest, it's not as clear. This way is kind of the way I would love my audio to constantly sound. I think this is probably the one that sounds the best. But if I'm out vlogging and it's on my chest, it's not going to sound as good. So if there's a way that I could mount this to the top of my Insta360 GO Ultra, I think that would be very ideal, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. I'm still using the cardioid, but I've switched locations. I also want to note a feature on this that's quite nice, is if you click the power button once, it starts recording, and then once again it stops recording. So that's nice if I want to set the camera down and it's a little bit far for me to reach, then I can just do that to record. I moved locations because if you can sort of hear all of the industrial fans from these buildings that are going on, so they're a little loud. So I have weak noise cancellation on right now, and I'm going to switch over to strong and then no noise cancellation, so you can kind of hear how loud it is. So this is weak. Let's go switch over to strong. This is strong noise cancellation on cardioid. So this is direct audio. That's why I'm holding the mic facing me directly. And I will show you omnidirectional as well. But I think this probably sounds very ideal, but it is a strange option for this environment. But it's nice when I'm sit down. If I were to walk around, I would want this mounted. I wouldn't want to be holding camera and mic at the same time. So let me show you the sound with no noise cancellation to show you how loud it is, and we'll switch over to omnidirectional. Alright, so this is noise cancellation off. I'm still keeping the windscreen on because it is windy, and I don't think you guys know what a windscreen does. So it's a bit loud. Maybe if I can face the mic towards the fan that's happening. It's quite loud. So let's go back to omnidirectional, and we'll kind of walk around in this area. Noise cancellation is currently off, and I'm in the loud area. The wind is certainly blowing now, and I'm getting closer to the fan. So if you can hear that. So I'll stay kind of close, and let's switch to low noise cancellation. I'm quite close. Noise cancellation is on, and I'll start sort of walking away from it a little bit as well, so you can get a difference. Again, I'm back on omnidirectional, so it's taking in audio from each side and the front. A nice environmental vlogging scenario, but it's a little difficult with large fans or cars driving by, things like that. So I'm walking a little closer now, and now we're gonna switch over to strong, and then that'll be that. We're on strong noise cancellation, and I can already see the mic not wanting to pick up that fan when I'm looking at the audio bar. Kind of get stronger when I'm speaking, not so much when I'm not. I'm going to review the footage that I took, because this is also my first time doing all of these tests, so you're kind of coming along with me. And then I'll give you a quick review on which audio set that I prefer. I really wish I didn't have to wear the windscreen, but it is very, very handy to keep on you, and I think it's important when watching a video. You don't want to hear wind blowing and hitting the mic. It just ruins the audio quality no matter the type of mic you have. So hopefully that it's working well and it's doing its job. And as I'm speaking, we're getting a huge gust of wind. So I'll let that kind of just go by. Let's go review this footage and see what works well for me, and maybe you can ascertain yourself what would work well for you and if you want to get this mic for your setup. I reviewed my footage and I decided that I do enjoy omnidirectional for vlogging with weak noise cancellation on, because the high noise cancellation kind of made my voice sound maybe a little muffled because it was working really hard to get that excess sound out. And the weak noise cancellation still does a really good job while bringing in the environment. So if I were to choose, it would be omnidirectional with weak noise cancellation. And if I'm indoors, probably the same. I don't think I would even change it, but I would just take the windscreen off. If I'm not walking around, I would choose not the omnidirectional, but I keep forgetting the name, cardioid. Also, there is now a motorcycle motor just revving. So see how the low noise cancellation deals with that. We'll see. So cardioid if I'm not moving around, but omnidirectional if I am. That was my review of the Insta360 Pro mic on my Insta360 GO Ultra. This is my first time using it and going over it, so as time progresses, I'm sure I'll have maybe differing opinions, but so far I think it's a great product, and I'm excited to see what I can use with it. And it's also just so nice with this e-ink display that you can change to have your logo on it, to have a funny face on it. They have a lot of options, but I made this one on Canva. It has my Instagram handle, so people can just see it and maybe find my Instagram. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.